What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the Adult. All right, man, look. Hey, man, look. We're going to have a more serious conversation today, okay? A deep dive to the question if Errol Spence is overrated. I think yes and no. Coffee. First, I want to say this, okay? I'm not sure what everyone does on other people's platform, okay? But I think people tend to overreach and over criticize or over fanboy just to drive home their points. And what I would like to do is to continue to build the type of community where we have rational thinking without getting our feelings too much involved, because it's not fair to the fighter. Case in point, when you say Errol Spence is overrated because he hasn't fought nobody, I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to say, how do you know Errol Spence is this great? Because by looking at his resume, I just can't, he hasn't proven that he's that great yet. You can say that, but he has fought people. Let's talk about his resume, okay? Bundu, that's a good victory. Algieri, good victory. Lamont Peterson, good victory. But his best victory, Mikey Garcia, good victory, especially how he beat him. But his best victory came in Kell Brook. Now, here's the problem with the criticisms when it comes to Kell Brook. Kell Brook, he only lost one time before, and that was to Triple G. Triple G, though, he broke his orbital bone, okay? Now, when you break someone's orbital bone, it's so funny when they talk about how Errol Spence stopped Kell Brook by breaking his other orbital bone. Triple G made his face weaker first. That is so far from any rational explanation. When you break someone's orbital bone on this side of their face, you didn't fracture their skull. If you fractured their skull, their face would be looking like a water balloon, okay? He broke his orbital bone, all right? This side of his face, the face that Errol Spence broke, was fine. He broke his orbital bone. Grab your eye. He broke this, not his nose. He broke his orbital bone, not his forehead, not his skull. He broke his orbital bone. Errol Spence breaking the other side and his cheekbone and his ribs is a testament to how well Errol Spence took the fight to him. That's it. When you take away a guy's accomplishments, it's just no fair to him. When everything they do, you're stripping away their accomplishments, it's just not fair. Here's another thing that we hear. Errol Spence didn't knock out Mikey Garcia, so he's not a hard puncher. He couldn't knock out Mikey Garcia, so he's a soft, weak puncher. That is overshooting, over-criticizing. Anyone who says that never watched boxing before. That's the only thing I can come up with. You must never. Errol Spence didn't knock out Mikey Garcia, true. But he did knock out Lamont Peterson. He did knock out Kell Brook. He knocked out Van Heerden. He knocked out Bundu. Tough guys who never been knocked out before, other than, Kell Brook and stuff. But guys who don't get knocked out often, Van Heerden, Algieri. So, and these are big welterweights. So Errol Spence has proven that he has punching power, no doubt. The reason why he didn't knock out Mikey Garcia is you must have to think about a few things here. Mikey Garcia has a strong skill set, meaning when Errol Spence did go for the knockout, him putting all that fat on his punches to try to knock out Mikey Garcia had the skill set to counter him and land good, accurate shots on Errol Spence. It was not smart for Errol Spence to keep trying to throw heavy shots on Mikey Garcia because Mikey Garcia was too smart for that. He started hitting Errol Spence with clean shots. So Errol Spence said, let me dial it back and win. Let me continue to dominate. That's what I think. Also, we must bring it to the count or consider this. Mikey Garcia could just be a tough cookie. He could just be a tough fighter. Case in point, and I brought this up before. Hagler at middleweight taking on Duran, who jumped up weight classes to fight Hagler. Definitely smaller than Hagler. He survived not 12, but 15 rounds against Hagler. And believe you me, watching that fight, Hagler was landing lumber. But Duran, too tough. A tough cookie. He couldn't knock out Duran. Tommy Hearns, he did. What that is a testament to Duran against Hagler. A lot of times the styles make fights, but you can't say Hagler didn't have punching power. He did. So like I said, to say something like that based on one fight, strip away all his accomplishments, you're overreaching your point. All right. Let's talk about the whole weight bully thing. We got to talk about that a little bit. Errol Spence is substantially bigger naturally than many welterweights. What that makes him is a big welterweight. There's been big welterweights before. Tommy Hearns come to mind. So you have this guy who's able to sweat and make weight and make the 147 limit. Fine. But when you call him a weight bully, you're not consistent. Case in point. Kell Brook came down from middleweight to take on Errol Spence. He hasn't fought at welterweight since. He's fought at 154 twice after Errol Spence. When Kell Brook fought Errol Spence, people said Kell Brook was weight drained. Not that he was a weight bully or he beat him because he was weight drained. But when it comes to Errol Spence, he's a weight bully. Hold on. Errol Spence being a welterweight, he's known for fighting big welterweights like Van Heerden. Another thing, Sean Porter, I mentioned this before. He fought at amateurs at middleweight. Sean Porter was struggling making the 147-pound limit against Ugas in this last fight. Sean Porter has also admitted that he's been training since April to really make sure he can lose the weight and make weight for the Errol Spence fight. So if you're going to call Errol Spence a weight bully, then I guess this fight is weight bully versus weight bully. All right. So I want to say this in moving forward. If Errol Spence were to beat Sean Porter, struggle or dominate, I feel from looking at the criticisms Errol Spence received in the past, that no matter what, if he beats Sean Porter, he's going to get that accomplishment stripped from him as well. So I know that Errol Spence is starting to reach that Floyd Mayweather type of criticism. You can't win. You can't win no matter what. Unless you take on Canelo. If you take on Canelo and beat Canelo, then maybe. You're going to have to do something like there was a time when Floyd Mayweather, if he didn't fight Triple G, then he didn't accomplish anything. So Errol Spence is starting to reach that, and it's sad, okay? But this is what I want to say on how Errol Spence may be overrated. Because of that fact of how people over-criticize Errol Spence. Or maybe it's vice versa. Maybe the fanboys is spawning this over-criticism of Errol Spence. But because of one way or the other, you got guys overshooting what Errol Spence has accomplished is capable of. What I mean by that, I don't see Errol Spence blowing up Sean Porter. He may. But when I look at Sean Porter, when I look at these guys, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, all these guys, Ugas, I think all these guys are very close. Manny Pacquiao. I think all these guys can fight. I think they are great fighters. And because of that, when they meet each other, when one beat the other, split decision. Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, split decision. Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, split decision. Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia, Sean Porter. All these fights are close. Ugas may have been robbed against Sean Porter. All these fights, well, he probably should have gotten a nod. That's robbed. That's over. I think he should have gotten a nod. Either way, all these guys are very close. So to say Errol Spence will blow up Sean Porter without a struggle, I think you're overreaching a bit, and that's where the overrating Errol Spence comes in. So is Errol Spence overrated? Yeah. Is he also over-criticized? Yeah. Errol Spence, to me, right now, is the best welterweight in the division. But that doesn't mean that he dominates everybody. And the only reason I think he's the best welterweight in the division is because Terrence Crawford, as a welterweight, I haven't seen much. It's just like looking at Errol Spence and saying, I haven't seen much. Terrence Crawford, I haven't seen much other than his natural gifts and abilities when it comes to him being a boxer. Top 1, 2, 3 fighters in the game. Okay. Maybe the best fighter in the game. But when you look at him as a welterweight and his accomplishments, his resume, Terrence Crawford is not the best welterweight right now. I would love to see that fight. So I got Errol Spence as number 1, but that doesn't mean that he can't get clipped by Sean Porter. He can't be beat by Terrence Crawford or clipped. I think a lot of times you need 2 or 3 fights to see who's really the best. And that's how I feel about it. I think Errol Spence eventually should move up to 154 when you talk about the weight bully thing. But I think he should conquer 147 first because it works better for his legacy. ShowBizz, the adult. What I want is for my boxing community to just be more rational, speak with a little bit more sense instead of being so emotional, over-criticizing or over-hyping a fighter. I'm out.